Today on the podcast, we have Racheal Kundananji. Racheal is a Zambian striker who plays in the NWSL for Bay FC. Earlier this year, Racheal broke barriers by signing a world record transfer fee with Bay FC, reported to be $788,000, making her the most expensive female footballer in the world. Racheal has scored 3 goals for Bay FC this season, and she also just returned from the Olympics with her national team of Zambia, where she scored 2 goals in the group stage games. Racheal, I'm so excited to be speaking with you today. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for hosting me. It's such an honor,
Oh my gosh, the honor is all mine, Racheal. It's so exciting to be speaking with you. I want to talk a little bit about your sporting career and how it started in Zambia when you were growing up. So I know that your main sport was track and field, and I wanted to see if you could talk to us a little bit about what the athletic opportunities were like for girls in Zambia when you were young.
Growing up around men doing sports, and it was like not having a chance to see other women in sports was not so easy, because I ended up just playing the street soccer, whereby you just make a soccer ball from the plastics and you just go and play without rules, without anything, barefooted. And if you your toenail comes out, you just put some sand and then tie a plastic there, and you continue playing instead of.
Oh my God.
It was more fun, and then it was just for fun, I might say. For track and field, it was just also I was doing it just for fun. I wasn't even serious about it until professionally I did all together with soccer in the same year. That was 2017. That's when I did all together, and also would do maybe in some weekends if we don't have games. I would go with the athletic team to compete in all comers meet.
So I want to ask you about that, about your first soccer team, which I read somewhere that you didn't start playing soccer until you were 17 years old.
Yeah. I was playing just street soccer, whereby you just go the street soccer without rules.
Yeah.
Whereby you're just having fun and But there was a time when I joined this small team, but it was just for boys, so it was too difficult for me.
Oh.
But I was having fun with it. I only trained every time when we cross school, that's when we they'll form up a team, and then they start a small academy, but it wasn't that serious. It was just by a player was doing that. So I joined there, where I got a haircut, all my hair out, just to join.
Wait, are you saying you cut your hair so you could play on a boys' team?
Yeah, just to fit in so that they don't notice anything. But it was just for once I did that. And then later I just started playing for fun. I would train with other guys who were professional soccer players.
Uh-huh.
And then 2017, that's when I would do sometimes I would train with the girls when I joined first I joined I think I trained 1 week with Mufurira Wanderers team, and then they were no, you should bring your ID, we register you, because I was living with my mom's younger sister in Mufurira. I lived with her for some months, so when I went back to my mom's place and then I find out that they have a women's team, I was it's better I just stay where my mom is, and instead of going back that side. So I decided to join the team there and start playing for them.
Was this the Concola Queens?
Yeah, the Concola Queens. We were passing, and then I saw girls training. So by then I didn't stop. I just asked one guy if they are training tomorrow, and the guy said, yeah, they always train every day at 3 p.m. So if you want to come and train with them, you can come. I was like, okay, no problem. And then the following day I came. I started training with them, and we had our first game in Dola against the Evergreen, the league game. That was on my birthday.
Oh. What birthday? How old were you? 17?
17, yeah. That was my birthday.
Wow.
And then we played, because the jersey number I've loved since I was young was 3, because I was a defender by then, So I loved 3. And I was wearing just number 3, wanting to score because it's my birthday, so that I celebrate. But I missed and we lost the game. This my friend from Ndola. She was like, the coach needs a player like you, who's fast like you. And I'll try to talk to the coach if he can bring you for trials. I was like, oh, okay, no problem. And then the day later, when I was in Chirabombe, the coach called me. What are you doing? No, I'm just home. Okay, just pack your bag and come for trials. I was like, what?
That's amazing. And
yeah.
Would you say, did you have a dream then of going
No.
on to play, or you just wanted to play for fun?
No, because at first when I was growing up, when I was playing street soccer, I was enjoying watching Chelsea, and I was imagining myself playing for Chelsea as a defender. And, the part I loved most was when a defender is taking a throw in and the camera comes on his face, and I'm like, this will one day will be me throwing the ball, and the camera comes to my face. I want this, and that's it. But when I joined the women's team, I wasn't dreaming of going anywhere with soccer, because I was just doing that as part-time, because I was even working with this guy. He was teaching me how to do like welding, like metal fab. Yeah. So I was going there doing that, and later in the afternoon, I go for training. So it wasn't that like serious. But after the Indeni losses, like, were interested in signing me, and the Zesco United also, those were like big teams, whereby if you go to those teams, you're a good player. And most of the national team players were coming from those teams, Okay. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe this can be serious,
Yeah.
And then I went to Indeni for trials for 1 week, but the coach was like, yeah, we'll register you. I was like, no, I'm not staying. I had to run away because I was short-tempered, and my fellow players were so annoying. I was like, I don't want to beat someone or fight anybody. You chase me, so I'll come next year when I work on my temper.
All right, so I read a little bit about this. You had a temper.
Yeah.
And so did you go back to your previous team and you worked on it?
Yes, yeah. And there was a time, at first I didn't work on it because I was like in charge of the team. So like whatever I'll do, I'll get away with it, So when I went to, like, when we played against this team, MOBA Queens, the team is no more. Coach Kaila and the late Coach Martha, we played against, they were the coach of the other team. This was a good team. Technically, they were a good team because this coach is a good coach, Technically, he made a very big team. And when we played against them, they were so annoying every time, like, you're just chasing the ball, and every time you get the ball, they will grab you down and just to make you not do anything with the ball.
Oh, so they would just foul you.
Yeah, so I got pissed off. I was like, I'm going to beat you, I screamed at this. She was younger than me. And I'm like,
Racheal!
I'm going to beat you. And she went to tell her coach, no, Racheal wants to beat me. And the coach after the game was like, you know what? This is not boxing. If you want to fight, go in the ring and fight. You are a good player. If you want to travel around the world, work on your temper. And, work on your temper and stop bullying other people. I was like, and that day when he told me that, I stayed quiet the entire time. Like for days, even when I'm training, I'm asking myself this question. I'll travel around the world.
Yeah.
Let me try and try to work on this. And I started just encouraging my teammates, because even before I was encouraging my teammates, but I'll fight those who are bullying them. So the only problem I had was fighting, so I had to work on that short temper of getting upset. And later when we played the same team, the coach was so surprised seeing a new Racheal, smiling Racheal, not fighting.
Nice Racheal.
Everything. Yeah. And the coach was like, come and give me your full names and, your ID number and everything. And I gave him, and he was like, just give me the next national team call up. I'll make sure you go there. I'm like, what? I was so happy, I was so happy. And I started training so hard. And I stopped training with girls. almost every day I was training with boys. Like I would
Wow.
train 2 days in a week with boys and train with girls because they were telling me that national team players are so good and as a defender you have to be good. Because I was so like, I'm going to stay there. I'm not coming back. I'm going to stay. And we went for, I think that next camp they didn't call me up. And then again in December, I was called for trials again for Indian because they were holding trials and they invited me again. I was like, now I'm ready. It's okay. I can go, And
That is so incredible. What an awesome story. I do want to talk more about the national team in just a minute. I have a few questions for you about that, but I want to stay with your club career. So you mentioned that this coach said, work on your temper and you could travel the world playing soccer. In 2019, at age 18, you signed your first professional contract abroad with BIK Kazakurt in Kazakhstan. How did that opportunity to travel abroad and play professional soccer come about?
I got more confident when we went for a tournament in South Africa. That was my first tournament to play with the national team. First we played the Africa Cup qualifying games against Tanzania and against Zimbabwe. And the Tanzania one was my first international game. And I was so scared for the first time, being scared, whereby worried of making mistakes. And then I was just playing one touch, one touch, one touch, one touch, one touch. And they were perfect. Like every time when I get a touch, it will go to my colleague, and my teammate. And I was just playing like that. And the coach was like, you were so fantastic. I was like, what?
Oh my gosh, amazing. So you were nervous, but you played great.
Yeah. Whereby you are nervous and then you don't want the ball. You just want every time the ball comes, you give it to somebody. Like, I don't want problems, And I ended up assisting in that game. And the second game also, my second international game, I scored the goal, which we drew 1-1. So I started gaining confidence and saying like, oh, I can play at this level. I can play at this level.
So is that how the team in Kazakhstan saw you, was in those CAF qualifiers?
No. They saw me at the Africa Cup of Nations, the tournament, the actual tournament.
Okay.
Because there, I think I had a great tournament, even though it was my first biggest tournament, where I scored 3 goals in 3 games. And the first game I was the player of the match and, the confidence started growing more, When I first got the contract from Kazakhstan, I was so happy. I had to share the contract with my mom, my older brother, and I wanted them to go through because it was my first time to receive a professional contract. I don't know how they work and what I need to know in the contract. I knew nothing about it. So I trusted my mom and my elder brother to tell me go ahead or no, or ask them this is not right or that. Because my brother is a businessman and with contracts he's more like good at it. So he went through the contract. He was like, I think this is good, for the start. And I sent it to my agent who was like, oh, for a start, this one, go. And please, you should just like go there, not just to play, but to learn more and, improve yourself so that you can make my job easier to find good teams in good leagues. Sometimes I'll miss chances, like good chances, So when I went there, the assistant coach was helping me. Every training, after training, he'll help me doing like the wrong balls, control, try to dribble the defender, make a cross, try to dribble inside, shoot. Every day he was helping me, every day until I started, improving slowly. When I went to Spain, that's when I improved more.
Well, that was my next question. So it sounds like you grew as a player so much in Kazakhstan, learned more technical skills, and spent a lot of time with your assistant coach. You helped the team in Kazakhstan win back-to-back league championships in 2019 and 2020. Then in 2022, you made the move to Spain. You played for SD Eibar and Madrid CFF. And Spain seemed like such a great place for you. In your first season with Madrid CFF, you scored 25 goals in 29 games, a season performance that really helped set you up for this record-breaking move to the NWSL. So, Racheal, I want to know, what do you think was the most critical thing you learned in your time in Kazakhstan and in Spain? How much did you improve?
I think I improved a lot in Spain also, mentally, because when I went to SD Eibar, I stayed almost all my time on the bench, not playing games, and I'll come in 5 minutes. Sometimes I'll sit on if like we try to find the videos where they show the bench, you see me taking the hoodie and doing this.
Oh no.
I'm not hiding my face. I'm crying. I'm like, what should I do so that asking myself questions which I never had answers to, because I felt like I was doing everything which I wasn't doing. To me, I felt like everything I was doing was right, but it wasn't. And it had to make the coach to stop training and say, Rachel, you need to do this. Is that what you're doing? She asked me a question. Is that what I want you to do? I'm like, because I didn't know what she wanted me to do. I was like, no. Then why are you doing that? I was like, I don't know what you want me to do. That's why I'm keeping doing the same. She was like, I want you to fight. Don't hesitate and say they are my teammates. That's why you're sitting on the bench. They are making you to sit on the bench because you are hesitating that they are my teammates. Go hard on them. Show them that you want to play. Show me that you want to play. Come on, fight like a lion. And she had to beat my, like, come on. And when I went in, it was like switching my mind up. And I was like, I'll crush everything my way. I'll crush everything.
You learned a lot mentally. Your intensity and approach to game and fighting for playing time really improved here.
Yeah, so it's because on training that day I even scored 7 goals because I was just crashing everything. I was just going at a full speed. Some of my teammates will complain, no, you're coming so strong in us. We are teammates, and the coach will be like, they should talk to me, not to you.
Yeah.
Just do your job.
You're like, the coach told me to be a lion, so I'm being a lion, you guys. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, the next game I started in the first 11, and I played the all 90 minutes for the first time. I was like, yes.
Wow.
And since then, everything changed,
Oh my gosh. Well, so really quickly, I do want to hear, you're such a natural goal scorer. And I want to know what it is about your game. Like, what do you think makes you so special and deadly in front of goal? What skills do you really pride yourself on?
I can't say I have skills,
Of course you do.
I can't say that for real, because there are players who are skillful.
Oh, you don't want to reveal too much.
No, I'm not trying to reveal anything or hiding anything. That's the fact. There are players who are skillful, like they're so good. Sometimes what I believe in is just to use what you have, and your strength, you should use it in everybody knows that I'm fast and strong. Yes, that's my strength. So these other things I'm just adding up in order if they try to, defend me in a certain way, I'll just use another trick they've never seen before. And they'll be like, oh, she even knows how to do this,
Well, nobody's going to hear about it on my podcast because you're not telling them, so I'm not telling them either.
Oh.
So then, Racheal, in February of 2024, you signed with Bay FC, a new club in the NWSL, for a women's world record transfer fee of $788,000.
Yeah.
How did that feel to know that you were the player setting this new record transfer fee, that Bay FC wanted you and valued you so highly? What did that feel like?
At first when I signed the contract, when the contract came in, I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to this team, and I'm going to sign. Me, I didn't look on that angle of becoming the first in the women's soccer league or in the women. Yeah, I didn't look it at that way because it wasn't even on my mind. Me, I was just looking at staying in California, and plus it has been my dream. Looking at the team, and the name's team also was just like, it just sounded so special and something different, and I just fell in love with it. I was like, I'm going to this team. I'm making this move, and I needed new challenges because I felt like in Madrid I was too comfortable.
Okay.
And I hate when I become too comfortable because it affects my performance, I want to train hard every day. I want to be pushed at during training, tell me to do more. If I'm tired, sometimes, but it helps me when you're pushing me more, it's not easy to make a new team, like in this kind of league, making a team. It's not easy, but I feel like the team is doing the most, for the first time in the league, highest league for the first time, and the way the performance, I know we have lost a lot of matches, but I expected this because, when the team is just new, everyone is new,
It
it's
takes
very
time.
difficult. Yeah, it takes time. This
takes time.
Yeah, but I believe like the team is adapting so fast than expected.
Yeah, definitely. Well, talk to us a little bit about your season so far with Bay. What do you see that the club is trying to build, and how do you see yourself contributing to that?
I'm sure they are trying to build a lifetime team, not just a seasonal team,
Yeah.
because of the way, as you can see, they are investment in the team and like everything they are doing for the team. They are trying to make players feel comfortable, feel at home, and like, enjoy themselves, and not to feel that, no, just because you lost the match, they'll make you feel bad. No, they are just trying to build a team for the lifetime, whereby even if we were to retire, they'll be like, oh, this team, this is how it started. And by then they'll be like champions, and like everybody will be talking about BFC, BFC that,
Like,
and
you feel you'll always be a part of it. You were part of the first
I feel
season.
at home when I'm
Yeah.
here. I feel at home, I feel just like I'm at home. Like I grew up in this team. That's how I'm feeling.
Wow. That's
So-
incredible. Must be a really amazing feeling. I do want to ask you specifically about when you made your Bay FC debut as a substitute in the 62nd minute on March 30th earlier this year. It was your team's home debut against the Houston Dash, and you scored your first goal for
the
club
first
in
time. For the first time in my
time.
soccer career, to a new club and score for the first time. So
my gosh.
That's why this team is special,
What did that feel like to score? You became the first Zambian to play in the NWSL, the first Zambian to score a goal. Do you remember how it felt to sub on and score?
Before I was forcing Stacy to ask the team for me to play, to the technical bench for me to play in some matches. And she was like, no, you are not ready. You are not ready. I'll tell you when you are ready. I'm like, okay, no problem. And that day she told me that I know you are ready to play, but be ready anytime you are going in. So if you were watching us, every time when they showed I was on the bench, I wasn't sitting. I was stretching, trying to get myself ready.
You were ready the whole time.
Yeah, my heart was just like, I don't want to mess up, It's my first time to play at club level, and all these fans in the field, in the stand, like cheering for the team. It's my first time. So this has to be special. Yeah. So when I scored, I didn't know what to do, if it is to smile, to cry. I had mixed emotions, And the other thing was my mom in my mind, because she told me that whenever you get a chance, just use it when you go there. So I was like, I even screamed, Mama!
Oh my gosh!
If you saw, I was like emotional, happy, also like mixed emotions.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's a really, really cool story. So it sounds like you are loving Bay FC, loving California. What are some of your favorite things about living there? What do you like to do?
I've visited a couple of places, going to the beach. I like road trips, so it's just like so I've done, like, after the Olympics I did a lot of road trips. I visited different places, Monalei, and the other day we went to aquarium to check like the sea creatures and everything, to look, and it's
fun.
It was more fun. Like I'm having a good time.
Okay, so Racheal, your club journey has brought a lot of light and opportunity to young footballers in Zambia, in your home nation. You've helped your national team qualify for major world tournaments, and your success on the world stage as an individual player is undoubtedly inspiring so many players at home in Zambia. I'm curious, how have opportunities for your national team teammates grown and improved in recent years?
For the opportunities to grow is how those people who have that opportunity at that time performing, when they go there. And I feel like every one of us who has gone profession, we are doing the most in our teams, So that's why, like, it's very easy for other teams to look at other players and say, oh, in Zambia there is talent. Look at Racheal, look at Banda, look at Grace, or other players, They'll be like, oh, okay, so let's try to, maybe if we bring this one, she'll be like Racheal. Oh, when we bring this one, she'll be like Grace, she'll be like Banda, she'll be like, there will be all those comparison. But they will know that there is talent. That's why like there's so many opportunities for the Zambian players to go professional. Because I remember one time we were seated, chatting as a team, making fun of ourselves and saying like, one day we'll be coming from different clubs, coming for national team with my suitcase, the hand luggage, the way you walk and you're just like, with your and like, Beremo was the one, saying like, I'll have a beautiful fancy bag coming for the national team. I'm like, me, I was quiet because I was new. So I would like just laugh at that and say, oh my God, until I go professional. So I started admiring that every day so every time when they try to compare me to somebody, I was like, I'm one kind of a person who's stubborn. When you like trying to look down on me, I'll just say like, I can do it. Even if I know it's difficult for me to do it, but I'll just be stubborn until I do it. I'll be like, I can do it. And that's what I did in the national team. Some players will be like, oh, you're not a good player. Look what they were comparing to some certain names, Mm-hmm. And I'm like, those people have been playing soccer since they were young and they are, professionals. And I'm just coming, I'm coming. Yeah. You can't compare the owner of the seat and someone who's just coming,
Right. Right.
In order to sit on that,
you've grown so much as a player in such a short career already that the sky is the limit for you. I want to ask about the Olympics. You recently returned from Paris, where you competed with Zambia against the U.S., Germany, and Australia. The Zambia versus Australia game was one of the most exciting matches of the whole tournament. It was 6-5, Racheal, 11 goals in that game. You scored twice. Talk to us a little bit about that game. What did it feel like to play in such a back and forth matchup at the Olympics?
I enjoyed playing against the US. It was a tough match. We conceded goals in the first minutes, and then we sat down and spoke about it, and everyone was like ready to step up, and that made me feel so happy for my team that we are able to talk about things and make a change at the same time, just by there and then. If you saw, like, they scored in the first half 3 goals. The second half, it was very tough for them to do that. That was a great performance from Zambia, in the Olympics. I feel like against the US. Yes, we lost, but the fight we gave the US was, I'm sure even them, they took something from Zambia. Just like the other matches,
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like, and the Australian game was, I don't know, because, despite giving up that match, we did the best, like, attacking-wise, we did a lot of stuff.
You scored 5 goals.
Yeah, scoring 5 goals in such tournaments isn't easy, and which we did. And against Germany, I was expecting that lose. I can't lie to you, because I know Germany was coming strong. And us losing that match, the second match, it was like, Germany was like, this is the opportunity to kick Zambia out of this tournament, Because if we won that match against Australia, it could have boosted our, and then we could have gone, we went in the game, we did our best. We did our best in the German game. We could even play some, like, a lot of touches, not just kicking the ball anyhow, which I've seen, like, our team has improved, because our team is full of young players, who are willing to step up for anything. So I feel like if they just give Zambia a few years from now, the world will hear from it, because we have great talent. Great talent. I don't care who doesn't believe in Zambia because we are losing now. But on my edge, I believe and trust in our team. I don't care what other thinks about Zambia. All I care about is what the potential I'm seeing in the team, and how it has grown for this past 6 years since I joined the team. Like, we have done a lot of stuff than any other team in 6 years,
Yes.
So I feel like in the next few years again, we are going to do a lot. And I feel like a lot of players now go professional and they will learn a lot of stuff, and like mentally, even like how to handle some situations, that will help us, because Zambia is the best team as at now, I might say.
I'm so happy to hear your confidence in your national team. I'm thinking if, as your national team teammates, the young girls coming up go away and play abroad and play professionally, just like you did, you talk about how much you grew and learned and have grown as a player in your time playing professionally. As more and more opportunities keep coming up, which we've been talking about, your Zambian national team already has such incredible talent. And I am so excited to see that this team continue to grow. My question is, what do you think has changed? How have you and your national team been set up to succeed? You've qualified for the last 3 major world tournaments. And what else do you need? What else can your federation do to support you players in your growth in these world tournaments?
Yeah, I'll say a lot of things has changed in our national team compared to before we joined the team. Not just with the players, but even like a lot of things, the way they are helping us in some ways. Because, if you are lacking in sponsorship and everything, it's very difficult to do well. And but as Zambia, we are doing that, because we want to leave a legacy whereby those young girls who are looking up to us, when they step up, they need to break records, break everything that we have done. And I know they are going to do it, because it's not easy to do it, but I feel like if you see your elder sisters doing something, you'll be like, what has made my elder sister to do this? Oh, she's doing this, she's doing that. That's why
it makes you feel you can do it too. There's a path.
Because if there's, for instance, if I'm leaving a bad legacy, my younger sisters or brothers will look up to me and they will think it's life living that way. So they will lose a path of good life and follow my path. But if I'm doing good things, they'll follow my path and they'll do more than I'm doing. Because if they follow my bad path, they'll become more bad than I am, If they follow my good path, they'll become more the best, because they'll have opportunities I never had, and I feel like what we need as a national team is to help us players, even mentally. Mental health is something important in a player, because if you are mentally disturbed or anything, all those stuffs will like contribute to your performance. Or I just that's how I feel like we need. Yes, we need some sponsorship in the team, like to help us in some ways. Yeah, we are facing here and there challenges, but I feel like the biggest step to take is on mental health, to help the players on the mental health side and all those stuffs. The players to be free when they are going in the pitch. The players are free when they step up for, to represent the nation, because we are not just representing ourselves. We are not just making our names, but we are representing a lot of men and women back home. I feel like that's what we need as a national team, because we have a very, very talented team and we are all young, we still have time to break more records.
So a lot of potential in the Zambian national team.
A lot.
I love hearing you speak about this. I think your perspective on it is so incredible. I heard you a little bit earlier mentioning legacy. And so this is actually my last question for you, Racheal. I know that you recently started the Racheal Kundananji Legacy Foundation, which is aimed at empowering young footballers in Zambia. And I would love to hear a little bit more about your foundation. And I feel like you already answered why it's so important to you to support young players. You're really paving this path and you're wanting them to succeed even more. But talk to us a little bit about the foundation and your motivation for starting it.
Sometimes it's good to give back to the community. And my dream was to have my own team, a soccer team. But after seeing what is needed to change, I was like, having my own team, I'm going to focus on maybe 25 players, So that would be unfair for other players. And that's why I was like, maybe if I do something whereby to help any player in Zambia who's liking some stuffs, and like I know I can't change everything, but as a player and who has been through what other players are going through, even maybe more than that, I know what it means to for someone to help you just with maybe a soccer boot. Even tokens. There will be a time where you go to a soccer match and ask for tokens. Only tokens. Imagine you ask for tokens.
Like socks? Like soccer socks?
Yeah, socks. Okay. Yeah, you just ask for socks, I feel like I know what it means when you just help a player with just a soccer boot. Even if it's one you have helped, you have changed that life, and that life also will change other people's lives. To you, it means you have only helped one, but that one, it's a chain. Even that other one will help others, So that's why I'm urging to other players to do the same and try to help, maybe in other ways, to help other players back home. It's not just giving somebody money. Giving somebody money, I think, is a waste. Because if I give you money now, maybe you use it for something else. But if I give you soccer boots will take you for a long, maybe the whole season, And then if I try to help maybe with soccer jerseys, it will carry the team for a long time. But I'm happy that I'm not, it was my dream to do that, and I took up a step, and now a lot of people came in and tried to help. So like today I was on a call before this, I received a call whereby I was told like there are some people helping us to like arrange some stuff for December, like for giving out, like for donations. I was thinking of buying stuff using my money and like all those, but people are stepping in and help, which is
amazing.
a good thing, And whoever wants to step up and try to help, they can feel free and do that, because they are not just going to help one player, they are going to help a lot of young girls in communities who have no opportunities. Because I always receive messages and say, even if it's one soccer ball, imagine a team asking for one soccer ball, then they are lacking. So if they receive 10 soccer balls, it will go a long way for them.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Racheal, this is amazing. It sounds like you've created this incredible opportunity for people to help through the game of soccer. I'm so honored that we got to speak with you about this today. Thank you so much for joining us here. It's such a joy to watch you play, and I hope that you and your team have a great rest of the season at Bay FC.
Thank you so much, Sam. Thank you so much. And you have made it easy for me to do this interview.
Oh, good.
You made me feel at ease, when I was coming with you, so I was just a little bit, and as we started speaking, I was like, oh, okay, cool. And
oh my gosh, well, I hope it was fun. Thank you so much, Racheal. So nice to meet you. Hopefully I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much, Sam. Have a great day.
Thank you all so much for listening. Racheal was honestly really amazing. Her desire to give more opportunities to young players, her passion for her Zambian team, and her love for Bay FC as a club was so infectious. I'm so happy that we got the chance to speak to her, and it really makes me more excited to watch her play with Bay FC. I think that doing these interviews with players that I haven't met really makes me feel closer to them, and so I'll be watching for Racheal's emotional reaction next time she scores a goal for Bay FC. In this episode, we spoke about Racheal's foundation. If you'd like to check that out or support it, head to rkundananjifoundation.org. Please follow along with us across our social media. We are on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Threads at Women's Game MIB. You can also subscribe to our newsletter, which really is the best recap of all things women's soccer all around the world. It gets delivered to your inbox every Monday. You can find the link to subscribe at the link tree in our social media bios. Next week, we'll have a bit of a change up on you all. For scheduling purposes only, Good Vibes and Friendlies are doing a fall flip-flop. So you'll see Friendlies drop first on Tuesday with Angel City and New Zealand defender Ali Riley, and then Good Vibes with Lynn Williams will drop on Thursday. Thank you all so much for being here. We will see you very soon.